Sean Strickland got married yesterday. He posted this photo to his Instagram. In the caption, he wrote, "Well, time to grow up, I guess." Dricus du Plessis left a comment on the post. He said, "Happy for you, brother. Congratulations to you and your wife." Conor McGregor has agreed to an 18-month suspension for violating the UFC anti-doping policy. He missed providing his whereabouts for a drug test on 3 occasions in 2024, June 13th, September 19th, and September 20th. McGregor will be eligible to compete again on March 20th, 2026, which means he will still be eligible for a return at the White House. Khabib Nurmagomedov reposted the news to his Instagram story and cropped Conor's face out of it. The timing was fitting, as October 6th marked the 7-year anniversary of their infamous fight at UFC 229. Charles Oliveira vs. Mateusz Gamrot is set to go down at UFC Rio this weekend. Ahead of the fight, Oliveira reflected on his recent knockout loss to Ilia Topuria. Speaking to ESPN, he said, "My last fight was against Ilia Topuria, a very tough guy, heavy hands, coming in, knocking everyone out. Unfortunately, the result wasn't what we wanted. I've never been knocked out, so imagine how I felt, knowing I had the chance to become champion once again, knowing it wasn't just me or my family crying, but thousands of people around the world. Of course, the first and second day, I was sad. I had my head down, but the most important thing in all of this goes back to my upbringing. Every time I fought, regardless of the result, win or lose, my dad would say, 'Come home and let's rededicate ourselves.'" Dustin Poirier doesn't think it's the best idea for Charles Oliveira to be fighting so soon after getting knocked out by Ilia Topuria this past June. Dustin thinks it's possible for Mateusz Gamrot to knock Oliveira out this weekend. For those unaware, Dustin trains with Gamrot at American Top Team. In an interview with MMA Junkie, Dustin said that was a pretty devastating knockout. "Anytime someone gets put out like that, I definitely don't recommend them turning around as quickly as possible. Take some time off. We saw it with Alexander Volkanovski. We've seen it time and time again. You need to recovery, regroup, let things heal. But even turning around that quick, Gamrot has knocked people out in the UFC before, with 4-ounce gloves. Even though we don't think of Gamrot as a power one-hit puncher, he is. Everybody is with these 4-ounce gloves. It's a dangerous fight for Charles, especially if he can't get the takedown on Gamrot. We'll see. Gamrot's boxing game has improved so much over the past 2 years. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. When I think about fighting Charles, he is a very front and back fighter. You need to be more lateral. Gamrot needs to use footwork and be all the way in or all the way out. With a guy like Charles, he's long and strong in the clinch, and he uses it very well. He'll throw a front kick, then get into the clinch, smother your boxing. I think Gamrot, with his wrestling experience, he'll be able to pick where the fight goes. If he wants to stand up, he can do that. If he wants to go to the ground, he can take it there. If Charles wants to take him to the ground, I think he's going to pass the test of the takedown defense everywhere, from against the fence to in the open. Gamrot is a really good scrambler and wrestler. Don't stay on a straight line with Charles. TJ Dillashaw explains why he wants to see Merab Dvalishvili rematch Umar Nurmagomedov. The two fought earlier this year, and Merab won via unanimous decision.
Yeah.
You have to shoot on him as well. I think that's a mistake that a lot of guys make, is that they're not shooting on him.
Yeah.
Umar did, though. That's why I think I want to see him fight Umar again, right? Because someone needs to take him down and hold him down. Who knows like how good his bottom game is? I don't know. It's kind of crazy that usually when you watch a wrestling grappling guy, people hate watching it and it's boring, but not a Merab. He makes it entertaining. Even though all he's doing is taking you down, he makes it entertaining.
Yeah,
you know?
And he fights hard the whole fight.
Yeah. He's not just like stalling. He's never stalling.
Right.
Despite their bad blood in the past, Jamahal Hill had high praise for Alex Pereira after his win over Ankalaev.
And shout out to him. He's like, this dude is impressive. Like this dude is impressive. You can't not be a fan of what he does and what he is. He said something in the face-off before the fight. He said, "I don't want to go back to the tire shop." Like anybody that came from nothing, that grinded to get to this point, they feel that. They feel that. They feel that they don't want to go back to that struggle or where they were whenever they were dreaming of being where they are. You know, so yeah, man. Yeah, man, it's definitely, you can definitely draw inspiration from that. You can definitely draw a lot from that. I was there. You can feel the energy when he won, whenever he got the victory and everything. You know, he set everything on fire, you know. And yeah, that's a good thing. Shout out to him, keeping the division alive, keeping it exciting, you know, having the biggest star in the sport right now in your division, it does nothing but motivate you. You know what I mean? The whole, you can see it. Everybody, there was a bunch of 205s there. Allberg was there. Yuri was there. I was there. You know, Khalil fought. He was there. Like the guys that were there that weren't fighting, even the one that did, you could see the fire. You could see the fire. It lit a fire under everybody, and they ready, man. The division is hungry. We're in a very good spot, and I'm happy for it.
Cory Sandhagen reflects on his loss to Merab Dvalishvili. He is still fully confident that he will become a champion one day.
Yo, what's up, guys? Hey, I just want to give a quick thank you to all of you guys that supported me, the people in my life that are a big deal to me, that really helped me do this thing. Thank you. And yeah, I watched the fight last night because I can't sleep. And that's an absolutely winnable fight. I just have to not almost get knocked out in the second round. Congrats to Merab for almost doing what he said he was gonna do, but not quite. So good on him. He's a good face for the division. I'm proud of that dude. I absolutely still believe in myself and that I'll be champ.
Delusional.
Yep, pretty much. And that's okay. Believing in yourself is part of the damn job. And I'll never stop thinking that I'm going to touch gold. Peace. I love you guys. Bye.
Delusional.
Nate Diaz explains why he considers his fight against Donald Cerrone to be bigger than his fights with Conor McGregor. Nate fought Cowboy all the way back in 2011 and won via unanimous decision.
What was your best fight? And you always say stop crying. I'm always like, there's different, because everyone asks me that, expect me to go Conor McGregor, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, settle down, because Conor McGregor was a huge fight, humongous in my career. But it's like, there's just different fights that are, it's timeline.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a timeline. I'm like, well, bro, that was the biggest when I fought Cowboy and you. Like, that was like fighting a guy that I thought, I'm like, you guys are all looking at this motherfucker. Nah. You know what I'm saying? I've been here, woo-woo. Because he's a new thing coming from the WT. So I beat his I was like, what's up? And that, to me, felt like a big piece of a timeline. Well, like, you know what I'm saying?
After successfully defending the bantamweight title against Cory Sandhagen, Merab Dvalishvili mentioned that he wanted to rematch Petr Yan at UFC 323 in December. The two fought back in 2023, and Merab won via unanimous decision. Yan made an appearance on the Ariel Helwani show yesterday and says he was only at 50% when he fought Merab. He expects the rematch to play out much different.
He said afterwards that he would like to fight again this year, that he wants to break the record for most title defenses in a calendar year. He now has 3, 8 other fighters have done it 3 times. He wants to get a 4th, and the last chance would be in December 7th, UFC. I think that would be 323. What do you think of that statement on his part? Do you believe that he wants to come back in 2 months?
Все возможно.
Yeah, I think it's possible if he doesn't have any injuries and he's one being pushing for it. And if it's line up with UFC plans, you know, it's possible. I believe it's possible.
So that event, UFC 323, is December 6th, so exactly 2 months from yesterday. Would that be in line with what you're hoping for as well? Would you be okay to fight in 2 months?
Yes, of course. I've been waiting for this chance, and I'm ready to fight in December. And I believe it's going to be a great fight that have a history. You know, last time I was compromised. I was only on 50%. So this time it will be something different. You know, it will be a great and exciting fight.
Chael Sonnen offered his solution to make a fight between Alex Pereira and Jon Jones happen. According to Chael, Jones should move back down to light heavyweight and challenge Pereira for the 205-pound title.
Let me give you the hot take of the day. If I'm in Jon Jones's shoes and I hear this and I feel this buzz and there's this huge fight and it has all of a sudden got my interest, but there's no title on the line, I can fix that real fast. I can say, I will fight you, and I'll even find a world title because it's going to be yours. I'll see you at 205 pounds. And if Jon Jones does that, my partner, we're having a very different conversation.
Oh, chill. Oh my God, I didn't even think about that.
Gilbert Burns believes Charles Oliveira will finish Mateusz Gamrot at UFC Rio this weekend. Both Burns and Renato Moicano believe Gamrot has little to no chance of finishing Oliveira in a striking exchange.
Charles Oliveira's
winning.
last 5
It can
here.
be by decision. I don't think it's going to be by decision. I think it's going to be a finish. But even in a decision, I think Charles can win. I think Charles, the easiest way for Charles to win is to defend the takedown and beat the guy up on the feet and keep defending the takedown. Just kind of like similar Benil did. But I think Charles is just more powerful with the hands, more powerful with jiu-jitsu. I just think Charles is gonna get it.
Do you think there's a more likely chance that he catches Gamrot on the feet, or is able to lock something up when he's wrestling against him?
After he hurt him, I think both ways can happen. I think if he hurt him, he can try to finish on a ground and pound. He can, or then after he's hurt.
Yeah.
He might jump on the gilly. He might jump on something.
Do you think there's any chance that Gamrot chins Oliveira here?
No way.
I think it's a possibility, bro.
No way.
Yeah, I don't
The
think it
level
had.
of disrespect. I'm gonna call Charles right now.
No.
He said that you said that.
Go ahead, bro.
Michael Bisping thinks Tom Aspinall will likely beat Ciryl Gane at UFC 321. If Tom does pull it off, Bisping thinks Tom versus Alex Pereira is absolutely the fight to make. However, not at the White House card.
It all just lines up perfectly. And as I said, in terms of historical matchups, and you can forget about the White House, because the White House is going to be Americans versus non-Americans. That should be the theme. It's to celebrate 1776 after all. You know, he's Brazilian. Tom Aspinall's British, okay? That doesn't work, okay? But he just kicked on Saturday. Tom Aspinall's probably going to beat Ciryl Gane. Do that matchup, first quarter of 2026, kickoff Paramount in style. There you go. There's a big matchup. Can Pereira become the first ever 3-weight division champion? And guess what? If he loses, just stay at 205.
Just go back down to 205. Yeah. No. Yeah. I don't mind that either. But I don't know if the White House is going to end up being all of that. I think that's going to be difficult for them to get guys at the right moment that are big enough names to have like Americans versus like the Brits versus other. I think there'll be some of that on the card, but I think for all of it, that's going to be tough, don't you think?
Dana said it's going to be, hands down, the best fight card.
Charles Oliveira wants to fight Conor McGregor at the White House. Speaking to media today, he said, "When we talk about legacy, I think this will be something huge. Why not have a big fight there? So if the UFC needs me, I'm ready. Charles Oliveira versus Conor McGregor. That would be the fight, the money fight." Sean Strickland discusses a potential fight between Alex Pereira and Jon Jones. In an interview with MMA Junkie, Sean said if there's anyone to beat Jon Jones, it's Alex. But Jon Jones, that guy can wrestle. That level of black athleticism, that guy can wrestle. The thing about Alex is he's really f***ing hard to take down. He's a really hard motherfucker to take down. If you're going to have any success with him, he better be tired because naturally he has a defensive stance. The guy has the death punch, dude. Ankalaev, he came and trained with us. He's so f***ing good. Alex just has that thing that comes once in a lifetime, like Chuck Liddell had it. There's some guys that have that death punch, and that's Alex. I love working with Alex. Alex is one of those dudes where if you give him a tad bit of advice, he absorbs it, he drills it. Ankalaev is my boy. I think Ankalaev is probably like, as far as skill and ability goes, he's probably one of the best in the world. The guy can f***ing fight. I trained with him. If he were to write a book on MMA, it would be a big f***ing book. But Alex just has that little secret sauce, and Ankalaev just doesn't have it. And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's in reference to Raja Jackson facing 4+ years in prison. It's from Curious Disciple. It says Raja facing more time than Diddy. The second one's from 7 Like the Number. It's in reference to Magomed Ankalaev claiming he fought Alex Pereira with a broken rib. It says Alex didn't talk about his injury straight after the fight. Ank couldn't wait 24 hours to start with the excuses. And the final one's from Internet Dumpster. It says Yuri loves fighting so much, motherfucker actually cried from happiness just imagining getting to fight his nemesis again. Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.